We are back. You're listening to Queercore on CKUT 90.3 FM. The time in studio is 6:09 p.m. and we are joined here with Datnesses and Phoenix Wood, two of the Glam Gam regulars. Welcome to Queercore.
Thank you for having us.
Hi, thank you, Josh and Josh.
To start, do you maybe want to give us your quick elevator pitch for Greasy, a lesbian love story that opens this week?
Sure. Greasy is, we took the classic Grease from 40 years ago and deconstructed it and did a very sexy, exciting, exotic, queer version featuring lesbians and their love story.
Yep, we're queering our childhood fantasies.
Why Grease? Of all of the...
Why not Grease? It's got fabulous music. It was actually one of my mom's favorite movies, so it came out like 2 years before I was born, so I think I was like listening to it in the womb kind of thing and singing along with Summer Nights, and it just makes me excited.
I think for me, Grease is also a great script to parody because it's so campy and it does explore some gender stereotypes and presents along very gendered lines in like the 50s and 60s or whatever the time period of Grease really is, because it's like the 80s does the past. So it's interesting for me that way. I think there's a lot of opportunity to queer something like that because it's kind of misogynistic and kind of sexist if you've watched Grease, but it's also really fun and there's musical numbers and lots of dancing. And John Travolta is a young guy. It's like really fun. So
He was such a stud back then.
Yeah.
And also some great characters that I feel like queers found a lot in.
Totally.
Even if it did operate along those really gendered lines.
Absolutely. The characters
Rizzo
are juicy. Yes.
Frenchie.
Who is now Jizzo. Yeah, we've changed a lot of the character names.
Yeah, our three main groups within the show, the Pink Ladies have become the Pink Tacos, the T-Birds have become the Derby Dykes, and the Scorpions from the rival school have become the Fagettes.
And they're from a rival school called the Disciples of the Immaculate Conception, school for boys.
Dick.
And the Pink Tacos are from a all-girls school, Catholic school called Sacred Ladies of the United Trinity School for Girls.
Slut.
Tell us a little bit about the characters that each of you play.
I play the lead role, Dani, short for Danielle Foucault. She is a gender nonconforming lesbian, and they are in love with Winter Valentine, who is this femme from Essex. But they just have to navigate their relationship in like a complicated world of high school and facing their friends and being vulnerable in love and having polyamorous relationships. So they're like exploring all of these situations together, and their friend circles help them along or sometimes impede their progress.
I am embodying Sister Mary Regina from my old Catholic schoolgirl days, who is a bit of a prude, and she tries to stop all of the lascivious fun from happening. So that's my job. Is, no, put your pants back on. Put those boobs back in.
And there's a lot of pants off and a lot of boobs out.
Oh, yes. As always.
Definitely.
How many fringe festivals does this make it for Glam Gam?
This is number 5. Is this number 5?
Turning Tricks.
Was number 3. Peter Pansexual was number 4. This is number 5.
Murder Mystery.
Those.
Beau Peep. Yeah. Okay. 5.
So, yeah.
5.
Whoa. What is it about the Fringe Festival that keeps you coming back?
It's just so exciting. I really love the vibe of all the people who are in this mode of doing theater and creating something new and fresh that has never been seen before. And it's not judged or policed in any way, so you can really go forward with your own heart's creation. You know, it's exciting, and there's this whole vibe around it where everyone goes to see each other's shows and we're all passing out flyers and we're all helping each other get through it. So I just really love the community that is created through the Fringe.
Yeah, there's something about amateur or semi-professional theater that has a newness to it and a bit of a rebellious spirit. And I find that sometimes old theater houses in Montreal can be very conservative and do theater in a very boring, dry way that doesn't interest me at all. So I find the Fringe exciting for those reasons as well.
And also there's a cap on ticket prices, which I feel makes theater a lot more accessible to people who might be on a budget or can't afford to spend, $40 or $50 to go see a show. It's $10 cap with a $2.50 fee. So I think most people can scrounge up $12.50 to come see a fabulous night of fun and excitement.
Yeah.
So one of the things that Glam Gam is known for, other than the boobs out on stage, is really putting together a lot of different performance styles into the shows. So what do you have prepared for this one?
What don't we have prepared for this one? As usual, we have puppets, because why? Everybody loves puppets. And we have drag. We have
Massive dance choreography.
So much dance choreography. My God, we've got a choreographer in called Debbie Friedman, who is amazing to work with. We have a full band called the Firing Squad. They're like incredible musicians, and they're just making us sound so good. Yeah, so that's a lot. Yeah, we're full on musical theater this year, with obviously lots of stripping.
The show, you said, opens this Wednesday, and has a pretty mammoth run.
Yes.
For the Fringe Festival.
12 shows. 12
14.
nights, 14 shows.
Yeah.
That's almost every night of the Fringe Festival, yeah?
Almost. We take a break like every 3 or 4 nights for one night just to wash our underwear and make some food. But it's going to be crazy.
Yeah,
if you want to find any of us for the next few weeks, we'll be living out of Cleo's.
Yes. Home sweet home.
We're going to take a quick musical break, I think, and we're going to be back talking with Datnesses and Phoenix Wood from Glam Gam's Greasy, a Lesbian Love Story, this week at the Montreal Fringe.
Thanks.
I would have kissed him one last time. And what happened next, no one would have ever known. My boy was killed, and now he's gone. And I could never go back. No, I'll never get to see him ever again. But I won't forget the time that we got to spend down the Lover's Lane. Lover's Lane. I wanna go to Lover's Lane. I wanna go to Lover's Lane. I wanna go to Lover's Lane. Lover's Lane. I wanna go to Lover's Lane. I wanna go to Lover's Lane.
listening to Quick R on CKUT, 90.3 FM, CKUT.ca on the web. This is our Monday, May 28th show. And it is 6:20 in studio, and we're here with Glam Gam Productions for their show Greasy, a Lesbian Love Story that opens on Wednesday at the Montreal Fringe Festival. So we've talked a little bit about the show already, but we kind of just jumped into it. So do you maybe we can take a step back, and can you tell us what is Glam Gam and how did it come about? Because you've both been involved for a very long time.
Since the beginning.
Yeah, almost a decade now we're coming to. Glam Gam, to put it very succinctly, is a great big collective of incredibly talented people who come together to perform vaudeville, burlesque, and cabaret shows that center around themes of sexuality and gender. Yes, and we've been doing this for years, and usually we involve as many talents and performance skills as possible. So we've had circus artists, we've had a lot of burlesquers in the neo scene and in the classic scene. We've collaborated with gender performers, drag kings, drag queens, like queer performance artists, so many different people, set designers, writers, technicians. It's like a big breathing collective. Yes.
We're also very on the side of being really raunchy and campy and smutty, but we definitely really focus on the material and try to make it a little more evolved and conscious and aware, and just try to include people that are not within the normal confines of heteronormative beauty and that standard of glamour and what we normally see on stage. So we really try to welcome all the freaks, geeks, and weirdos to our little collective.
We're fringe of the fringe.
Yes.
How was it that it started?
In 2009, Michael and Julie and Sarah performed in Cyberlesque at Cafe Cleopatra, and they were given rules and stuff, and they don't like rules very much, so they said, well, let's go do our own thing. So they just started to do a Christmas show called Tits the Season to Be Naughty, which debuted in December in 2009, and it was just a variety show, getting a bunch of their friends and other performers and stuff, and one of the performers had a knee injury and had to drop out. So that's where I got the call from Michael going, oh, I wish you could be here. It's too bad you're in Newfoundland. And I was like, well, shag it, I'll come. So I didn't even know him that well at that time. And he said, well, come stay with me. You can stay in my bed. Let's do this show. And I was like, okay. So once I came into the show, I just got addicted to this beautiful, welcoming, inclusive group of people. And I couldn't leave, and they wouldn't let me leave. He hid my wallet, hid my boots, and was just like, no, you're in Montreal now, and here I still am. Thank you, Michael.
And I joined in, I can't remember years and dates. I'm really
You came to see the first show, and I fell in love with you in the audience.
We fell in love so quickly. I made out with this girl like nobody's business.
It's
anyway,
true.
We're friends now. Just friends.
We crossed to the friend zone.
But so anyway, I joined because they had a costume contest in one of their shows. And I showed up with my friend, and we were the only ones dressed up. So we ended up competing against each other, and I won. And they just asked us both to be part of their group. And like what I really appreciate about working with Glam Gam is it's like a non-hierarchical group process. So everything goes through the entire group, which can make it a really laborious process, very difficult. A lot of tensions can run high because people are so invested and everyone's ideas are floating through and getting intertwined with each other. And so having to, we call it kill your babies, is like let go of ideas that die and just move past. And like that's a beautiful thing. I find it really a saturated process and very humbling. And Sherry knows all about it because she's had to be head scriptwriter, which means that she's had to rewrite all of the changes that come out of the group. So every time the group's like, we don't like this scene, this feels really oppressive in this way, is like, can we rethink what we're saying in this scene? You know, she's had to be the one to go home and then like do the dump in the thing and feed it back to us. So there's like a beautiful democratic process happening, and I've never seen that with any other group I've worked with. I find it so addictive.
It is a little frustrating at the time, but it is so worth it. Like once you just allow that to sink in, and where other people are coming from and their own perspectives and their own traumas and their own way of dealing with things. And I do believe that we managed to tackle it in a very like still entertaining, but yet aware way where we don't end up hurting anyone, you know, so that the comedy shines through, but we're very aware of what we're saying and what we're doing and trying to, make it more well-rounded.
Yeah, just bring a little intelligent and politically inclusive comedy to the scene, which can be the very opposite of that.
Mm-hmm.
How did the writing process for this show, Greasy, a lesbian love story, unfold?
I had a dream about a lesbian love story of Grease, and I called Michael one morning in 2015, and I was like, this was a hilarious dream, and I explained to him all about it. He's like, oh my God, that's hilarious. Let's do it. This is how most of our shows happen. I go, Michael, I had a dream. And then he just books the venue, and then we're committed, and we have to start working on it. So we did the first version of the script with some Glam Gam members back in 2015. And we did it as a 24-hour production. So we opened it up to the entire community and asked everyone to come in. And we drew all the names from a hat, and you got whatever role you were given. And that's how we get to meet a lot of people in the communities, by doing these 24-hour productions that are open to everyone. Mm-hmm. And through seeing it on stage and through hearing, it's very, very different than it was in 2015. Like, a lot of things that were okay and acceptable back then are not now. Mm-hmm. Like the Me Too movement has changed a lot of things. There's a lot of like political tension in the air, which we had to grab onto or let go of, depending on the vision of the characters and how they were moving. So it's been a really up and down process, but I do feel like we're coming with something really strong because of that.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the main themes coming out of this show?
We talk a lot about like sex and gender. So we're exploring issues of polyamory, and monogamy, and alternative relationship styles. We're exploring consent and gay and lesbian relationships and gay and lesbian tensions and alliances, and how different people along the intersections kind of ally or also further oppress each other. So we're talking a lot about that. We're talking about misogyny in the drag scene, which is like, anyone who's done drag will be able to like relate with that. We talk about, mental health and pretty serious like issues like addictions and consent.
Mm-hmm. We have one character where she plays an addict with mental health issues, and we really see her process as she, tries to be one of the gang and tries to fit in, but she always sort of feels like an outsider, and we sort of see that play out, and it's just such a beautiful unfolding of the inside of someone's mind who's tormented. So I feel like that's going to be a really poignant moment in the show. There's a bit of a trigger warning. I've cried almost every rehearsal because some things just hit me so hard right in the guts, but then we try to bring you back up again. So it's that constant up and down.
So the content warning would be for addiction and like just a general mental health and consent trigger warning.
Mm-hmm. Going from that, what are some of your favorite moments?
Well, my favorite moment is, I don't want to give away too much, but I do have a really beautiful giant LED dildo, which I'm quite fond of, for Greasy Lightning, which is really exciting. It does rainbows and light ups. I don't want to say too much, but
it's time to the music, so
yeah, it's very good. It makes me stoked. What's your favorite moment, Nada?
I think I really like the beginning. I don't want to give it away either, but we start with a bang. I think a lot of burlesque can be very like, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful that like burlesque is all about like the slow reveal and like the tease and the process of like unveiling. But I just love how Glam Gam just like always flips everything, and everything is really subversive, and they're just so irreverent that we kind of like start the show completely naked, and I just love it. I think that's great.
It's
great
really hot.
theater.
Even if you come for just the first 7 minutes, you'll get your money's worth.
You spoke a moment ago about how a lot of people get involved with Glam Gam through the 24-hour shows that you do. But what are some of the other ways?
Karaoke. We have an event of strip karaoke the first Saturday of every month at Cafe Cleo's. So if you come and you want to sing and strip off a few clothes and just talk to us, meet us, we're very open. We're trying to bring in people from all different backgrounds and talents and sizes, shapes, platforms. Yeah, we're just a friendly, inclusive community.
We love to meet other artists, so please say hi to us. If you recognize us in the metro, don't be shy. Come say, hey, I saw that show and I hated it. You guys suck. I want my money back, or whatever. And also, you don't have to strip karaoke. It's very optional, but if you did want to, we do have a nudity permit, so you can get butt naked.
Yeah, and come to glamgam.com. We have a new website up where you can reach us and talk to us and find out what else is going on that you can be a part of.
We're also on Facebook and Instagram.
Oh yeah, be our Instagram friend, because we have a lot of stuff going on there. So yeah, that's a great way for us to see your stuff, is by showing us your stuff on Insta. We'll show you ours.
Yeah, it's at glam_gam.
So the reason that you're able to strip at karaoke is because you're at Cafe Cleopatra, correct?
Yes.
Where an awful lot of your shows have been.
It's our home.
Several years. Can you talk a little bit about maybe the space and how it fits into the productions and why it's such an important space in the city?
Oh man, I love talking about Cleo's. Cleo's is such a beautiful historical place that has survived the onslaught of gentrification to the red light district in Montreal just by virtue of being so well supported by beautiful freaks and people who just haven't been able to find safe spaces in the city. And I think it's amazing that it's survived if you've gone to the St. Laurent Strip and you see it now, it's all concrete and glass and buildings. And Cafe Cleo's is this little old place with just so much heart and spirit. And the upstairs is all pink and mirrors and there's ghosts, and it's just it's full of the spirits of everyone who's fed it. And it was definitely, I think it was one of the first places in Canada to hire trans people as employees. So it does have a kind of an activist history as well.
And how does the show take advantage of the space?
By rehearsing every goddamn day in it. Johnny is amazing. He is so sweet. He lets us kind of rehearse whenever we want, and
from 11 a.m. until 3 a.m.
Oh, it depends on who you are. It's true, but
I'm there till 3 a.m. She gets to go home at 11.
The cast besides Sherry and the crew went home at after 12 hours of rehearsing yesterday. So that's the minimum sometimes that happens. 12 hours of rehearsing is a lot. So we really utilize the space and we cross promote the other people who use that space. We like to create alliances in that space and make sure we're all kind of like a family, a theater family.
They're very good to us. We love them so very much.
Yeah. Special shout out to Alain.
Johnny and Emmanuel and Alain and Gabby and the crew.
So 14 shows coming up over the next 2 weeks. You may not have that much time to see other things at the Fringe. But what are some of the other shows you're excited for?
I'm really excited to see Fiona Ross's show, So That's How Clowns Have Sex. She was their stage manager last year, and she is just a bright, bubbly spark, and anything that she does is going to be magnificent. So I can't wait to see her. And there's also Apocalypsync, which is the House of Lorraine's show. That's going to be really great. I love all the people. They're like Glam Gam cousins. Dance Side of the Moon with Maxine Segalowitz is going to be
amazing.
I just love everything that she touches as well.
Yeah.
This is not part of Fringe, but our dance choreographer Debbie is doing the Addams Family in West Island. So that's a mostly female ensemble, really cool stuff. I can't wait to see that too. It's going to be busy. What else did you want to... Oh yes, on June the 2nd, there is, what is the name of this bootlegger at the Mainline Theatre with our band, the Firing Squad?
It's not at the Mainline. It's actually at Bootlegger L'Authentique.
Oh.
And the Firing Squad is our band, and they're going to be doing a little show there. I also would love to plug my show, which is with Festival Trans Amérique. It's called the Space Party or Monsters Ball, and it's this Thursday night at 10:30 at the FTA headquarters on President Kennedy.
You are going to be exhausted,
I know.
girl.
I'm doing it right after Greasy, and I'm going to do an act with Leah McFly Waukesha, who is an amazing hip-hop, voguing, and whacking dancer in the scene. She does amazing styling as well, and she's just a force to be reckoned with.
Oh my God, I watch her whacking video quite often. She is a superstar.
Yeah, she is.
Thank you so much for coming on Queercore today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
for
thank you.
Do you guys have any final thoughts you want to share about the show coming up?
Please come to see Greasy, go see other Fringe shows, support artists, take care of yourselves, love each other, include whoever you can into your little projects because we all need space to create.
I think she said it all.
So again, if you just tuned in part way through, we've been speaking with Datnesses and Phoenix Wood from Glam Gam's Greasy, A Lesbian Love Story. It opens this Wednesday at Cafe Cleopatra, 1230 Boulevard Saint-Laurent.
Glamgam.com.
You can find all the details on glamgam.com. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Josh and Josh.